Day 34, Egypt and Exodus, Exodus 12, Leviticus 9, Psalm 113. Let's begin. Exodus 12. The Lord also said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, "This month will be for you the beginning of the months. It will be first in the months of the year. Speak to the entire assembly of the sons of Israel, and say to them, on the 10th day of this month, let everyone take a lamb, by their families and houses. But if the number is less than may suffice to be able to consume the lamb, he shall accept his neighbor, who has been joined with his house according to the number of souls that may suffice to be able to eat the lamb. And it shall be a lamb without blemish, a 1-year-old male. According to this rite, you shall also take a young goat. And you shall keep it until the 14th day of this month. And the entire multitude of the sons of Israel shall immolate it toward evening. And they shall take from its blood, and place it on both the doorposts and the upper threshold of the houses, in which they will consume it. And that night they shall eat the flesh, roasted by fire, and unleavened bread with wild lettuce. You shall not consume anything from it raw, nor boiled in water, but only roasted by fire. You shall devour the head with its feet and entrails. Neither shall there remain anything from it until morning. If anything will have been left over, you shall burn it with fire. Now you shall consume it in this way: you shall gird your waist, and you shall have shoes on your feet, holding staves in your hands, and you shall consume it in haste. For it is the Passover, that is, the crossing of the Lord. And I will cross through the land of Egypt that night, and I will strike down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from man, even to cattle. And I will bring judgments against all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. But the blood will be for you as a sign in the buildings where you will be. And I will see the blood, and I will pass over you. And the plague will not be with you to destroy, when I strike the land of Egypt. Then you shall have this day as a memorial, and you shall celebrate it as a solemnity to the Lord, in your generations, as an everlasting devotion. For 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day there shall be no leaven in your houses. Whoever will consume anything leavened, from the first day, even until the 7th day, that soul shall perish from Israel. The first day shall be holy and solemn, and the 7th day shall be venerated with the same festivity. You shall do no work in these days, except that which pertains to the eating. And you shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For on this same day, I will lead your army out of the land of Egypt, and you shall keep this day, in your generations, as a perpetual ritual. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, toward evening, you shall consume the unleavened bread, until the 21st day of the same month, toward evening. For 7 days there shall not be found leaven in your houses. Whoever will eat leaven, his soul will perish from the assembly of Israel, as much with the newcomers as with the natives of the land. You shall not consume any leaven. In all your dwelling places, you shall eat unleavened bread. Then Moses called all the elders of the sons of Israel, and he said to them, Go, taking an animal by your families, and sacrifice the Passover. And dip a little bundle of hyssop in the blood which is at the entrance, and sprinkle the upper threshold with it, and both of the doorposts. Let none of you go out of the door of his house until morning. For the Lord will cross through, striking the Egyptians. And when he will see the blood on the upper threshold, and on both the doorposts, he will pass over the door of the house and not permit the striker to enter into your houses or to do harm. You shall keep this word as a law for you and for your sons forever. And when you have entered into the land that the Lord will give to you, just as he has promised, you shall observe these ceremonies. And when your sons will say to you, What is the meaning of this religious observance? You shall say to them, It is the victim of the crossing of the Lord, when he passed over the houses of the sons of Israel in Egypt, striking the Egyptians, and freeing our houses. And the people, bowing down, worshipped. And the sons of Israel, departing, did just as the Lord had instructed Moses and Aaron. Then it happened, in the middle of the night, the Lord struck down every firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, who sits on his throne, even to the firstborn of the captive woman who was in prison, and all the firstborn of the cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, and all his servants, and all of Egypt. And there arose a great outcry in Egypt. For there was not a house in which no one lay dead. And Pharaoh, calling Moses and Aaron in the night, said, Rise up and go forth from among my people, you and the sons of Israel. Go, sacrifice to the Lord, just as you say. Your sheep and herds take along with you, as you requested, and as you go away, bless me. And the Egyptians urged the people to go away from the land quickly, saying, We will all die. Therefore, the people took bread dough before it was leavened, and tying it in their cloaks, they placed it on their shoulders. And the sons of Israel did just as Moses had instructed. And they petitioned the Egyptians for vessels of silver and of gold, and very many garments. Then the Lord granted favor to the people in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they bestowed on them. And they despoiled the Egyptians. And the sons of Israel set out from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, besides little ones. But also an innumerable mix of common people ascended with them, sheep and herds and animals of diverse kinds, exceedingly many. And they baked the bread, which a little while ago they had taken out of Egypt as dough. And they made unleavened bread baked under ashes. For it was not able to be leavened, with the Egyptians compelling them to leave and not permitting them to cause any delay. Neither did they have occasion to prepare any meat. Now the habitation of the sons of Israel, while they remained in Egypt, was 430 years. Having been completed, on the same day all the army of the Lord departed from the land of Egypt. This night is a worthy observance of the Lord, when he led them out of the land of Egypt. This all the sons of Israel must observe in their generations. And the Lord said to Moses and to Aaron, This is the religious observance of the Passover. No foreigner shall eat from it. But every bought servant shall be circumcised, and so he may eat from it. The newcomer and the hired hand shall not eat from it. In one house it shall be eaten, you shall not carry its flesh outside, nor shall you break its bone. The entire assembly of the sons of Israel shall do this. And if any sojourner will be willing to cross over into your settlement, and to keep the Passover of the Lord, all his males shall first be circumcised, and then he shall celebrate the rite. And he shall be just like a native of the land. But if any man is not circumcised, he shall not eat from it. The law shall be the same for the native born and for the settler who sojourns with you. And all the sons of Israel did just as the Lord had instructed Moses and Aaron. And on the same day, the Lord led the sons of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their companies. Leviticus 9. Then, the 8th day having arrived, Moses called Aaron and his sons, and those greater by birth from Israel, and he said to Aaron, Take a calf for sin from the herd, and a ram as a holocaust, both immaculate, and offer them in the sight of the Lord. And to the sons of Israel, you shall say, Take a he-goat for sin, and a calf as well as a lamb, both 1 year old and without blemish, as a holocaust. Take also an ox and a ram for peace offerings. And immolate them before the Lord, offering with the sacrifice of each one fine wheat flour sprinkled with oil. For today the Lord will appear to you. And so they brought everything that Moses had ordered before the door of the tabernacle, where, when all the multitude stood together, Moses said, This is the word, which the Lord has instructed. Accomplish it, and his glory will appear to you. And he said to Aaron, Approach toward the altar, and immolate on behalf of your sin. Offer the holocaust, and pray for yourself and for the people. And when you have slain the victim for the people, pray for them, just as the Lord has instructed. And immediately Aaron, approaching toward the altar, immolated the calf for his sin. And his sons brought its blood to him, and dipping his finger in it, he touched the horns of the altar, and he poured out the remainder at its base. And the fat, and the little kidneys, and the mesh of the liver, which are for sin, he burned upon the altar, just as the Lord had instructed Moses. Yet truly, the flesh and its skins he burned with fire beyond the camp. He also immolated the victim of holocaust. And his sons brought its blood to him, which he poured out all around the altar. And when the victim itself was cut into pieces, they brought him the head and each of the limbs, all of which he burned with fire upon the altar. Having first washed the intestines and the feet with water. And making an offering for the sin of the people, he slew the he-goat. And expiating the altar, he accomplished the holocaust, adding to it the sacrifice of the libations, which are to be offered together, and burning them upon the altar, separately from the ceremonies of the morning holocaust. He also immolated the ox, as well as the ram, as peace offerings for the people. And his sons brought him the blood, which he poured out upon the altar all around. Then the fat of the ox, and the rump of the ram, and the 2 little kidneys with their fat, and the mesh of the liver, they placed upon the breasts. And when the fat had been burned upon the altar, Aaron separated their breasts and the right shoulders, lifting them up in the sight of the Lord, as Moses had instructed. And extending his hands to the people, he blessed them. And so, the victims for sin, and the holocausts, and the peace offerings being completed, he descended. Then Moses and Aaron entered the tabernacle of the testimony, and afterwards came out and blessed the people. And the glory of the Lord appeared to the entire multitude. And behold, a fire from the Lord devoured the holocaust, and the fat which was on the altar. When the crowd had seen this, they praised the Lord, falling on their faces. Psalm 113. Alleluia. At the departure of Israel from Egypt, the house of Jacob from a barbarous people, Judea was made his sanctuary, Israel was made his power. The sea looked and it fled. The Jordan was turned back again. The mountains exulted like rams, and the hills like lambs among the sheep. What happened to you, O sea, so that you fled, and to you, O Jordan, so that you were turned back again? What happened to you, O mountains, so that you exulted like rams, and to you, O hills, so that you exulted like lambs among the sheep? Before the face of the Lord, the earth was moved, before the face of the God of Jacob. He converted the rock into pools of water, and the cliff into fountains of waters. Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name give glory. Give glory to your mercy and your truth, lest the Gentiles should say, Where is their God? But our God is in heaven. All things whatsoever that he has willed, he has done. The idols of the nations are silver and gold, the works of the hands of men. They have mouths, and do not speak, they have eyes, and do not see. They have ears, and do not hear, they have noses, and do not smell. They have hands, and do not feel, they have feet, and do not walk. Neither will they cry out with their throat. Let those who make them become like them, along with all who trust in them. The house of Israel has hoped in the Lord. He is their helper and their protector. The house of Aaron has hoped in the Lord. He is their helper and their protector. Those who fear the Lord have hoped in the Lord. He is their helper and their protector. The Lord has been mindful of us, and he has blessed us. He has blessed the house of Israel. He has blessed the house of Aaron. He has blessed all who fear the Lord, the small with the great. May the Lord add blessings upon you, and upon your sons. Blessed are you by the Lord, who made heaven and earth. The heaven of heaven is for the Lord, but the earth he has given to the sons of men. The dead will not praise you, Lord, and neither will all those who descend into hell. But we who live will bless the Lord, from this time forward, and even forever.